This is a simple overview of what the study of apologetics is.
Apologetics is the discipline to learn how to, or that reveals, when you study it, how to defend the Christian faith. The word apologetics comes from a Greek word called apologia. It's used several times in the scripture. First Peter chapter 3, verse 15 is probably the most well-known verse that talks about apologetics. And it talks about having a response or giving an account for the hope that's in your heart. And it is a legal defense. Basically, that's where the word comes from. In Acts 22, Paul uses the word apologia when he says, "Brethren, hear my defense," when he gives a defense of what he was doing at the time. So that's the first thing to understand about it. And it is a defense of the historic Christian faith. It is a defense of the unique truthfulness of Jesus Christ. That's basically what we look at or point to when we talk about apologetics. Now, apologetics gets into a broader category where you look at 2 Corinthians in chapter 10, verses 3 and following, where Paul talks about that we have weapons, or the weapons of our warfare are mighty in God for the destruction of fortresses. And then he says we tear down strongholds and every lofty thing raised up against the knowledge of God. So that moves from a defense now to an offense, where the word literally means a defense, or giving a defense like a lawyer in a courtroom, to where now we are challenging things that are challenging the gospel or challenging the knowledge of God. Where you say today we have Darwinism or evolution is usually the term, and Darwinian evolution is precisely more the term. Natural selection is something that is an idea that is raised up against the knowledge of God, because it basically says that life began without God and life exists without God. And so that's something that we say is contrary to what we believe the truth is. So apologetics begins to look at those things, defending the historic Christian faith, the unique truthfulness of the gospel, or the unique truthfulness of the person of Jesus Christ, and then going after the ideas that are raised up against the knowledge of God. So that's the really, in a nutshell, the way I see apologetics and how apologetics works.